Welcome everybody. This is Bridging the Gap. This is our first official video. I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Kevin, and this is my cousin Brittany Washington.
Hey everybody.
So we're gonna talk about the Bridging the Gap page and what it is and what we're about. And Brittany, do you want to start it first, and I'll piggyback on what you say.
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. I'll kick us off. My name is Brittany Washington again. I am a alumni of Tarleton State University, where I majored in psychology with a minor in business management. I am also a qualified mental health professional. Um, and a little bit of my backdrop, other than that, I got into community advocacy. It's been a while, a few years ago, and especially got more into it during the rise of the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor protests that were going on in 2020. Since then, I've held protests and been a part of other grassroots organizations and bringing justice to, unjust situations, and also being an advocate in mental health for the African American community. So that's a little bit of my backdrop. I am from Fort Worth, Texas, and I'm just excited to get started with Bridging the Gap to bring true change into not only my city, but the state and also internationally, because racism is an international crisis that we are facing.
Mhm.
So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Kevin, and let the people know who you are?
So my name is Kevin Wilson. I'm from Oklahoma City, grew up in Duncan, Oklahoma. Come from a basketball athletic family, sports inclined. My mother played college basketball. My grandma played. My uncle, like everybody, has literally played basketball.
Yeah, yeah, we all play.
Everybody played basketball. So I follow in that line of college basketball. Um, Me and Brittany just had a vision. I started my activism journey with the George Floyd case, when an officer knelt on his neck. Got in touch with Brittany. We have a very good relationship. I had this vision, and she fully supported it, and she's taking it to the next level. Even now, when didn't even have some of these visions, you know. It's been great. We put a lot of time into this, a lot of effort, a lot of communication with me, Brittany, and then our social media person, FalonHowell. We've really dedicated a lot of time into this and effort, and it takes a lot. Me and Brittany are in constant communication, if not every day, every other day. And, on the phone, trying to figure out texting, trying to figure out how, what's the best way to do this. And but yeah, so that's just my thing. Just playing basketball and just starting my activism. Is the only thing negative is, though, you lose a lot of friends. You lose
Yeah, for
people.
sure.
You lose people in your circle. They want you to shut up and dribble, quote unquote. They
Yeah,
want you to not speak out. A lot of people don't even believe racism exists, especially in Duncan or just in the world. And I think with this recent shooting, what we'll touch on more, it proves that racism is still very alive, and that we can't overlook these things. So,
definitely.
so that's kind of my story and my, my area of getting the Bridging the Gap started, and yeah, so.
So, with Bridging the Gap, for you guys that don't know, the acronym for GAP is gaining another person's perspective.
Yeah.
So, that's what this platform will strictly be. It will be to gain a diverse perspective, because I call it the lunch table effect. Once you are coming out of the lunch line, right, and you don't know anybody, you're automatically going to connect with people or go sit by people that you think that you can mostly identify with. However, just because they look like you and they speak like you, they even may dress like you, that doesn't guarantee that you really have a lot in common.
Mhm.
But I think that as human beings or individuals from different ethnicities, we oftentimes miss gems because people don't look like us, they don't talk like us, they
Right.
don't listen to the same things we listen to, but that does not mean that you can't learn something from them or you can't teach them something.
Right.
And I think that we all as individuals should come to a common ground and understanding that everything that we've been taught, that doesn't necessarily make it correct.
Right.
And being that transparent with ourselves and being able to use our voices to say, you know what, enough is enough. I believe me and Kevin talked about it takes what, like 2 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
less than a second to say, you know what, I want to make a change.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be the change. Because again, just because you were taught something, that does not mean it's correct. Just like we can get on Google and we can Google anything and still rely on Google to be 100% correct, but sometimes we fall fault
Right.
in the knowledge that we gain from that. So bridging the gap, I'm excited to just be able to connect the bridge with you and to help bring awareness to not only social justice uh, incidents or just like, women's rights with a new abortion law that they're trying to implement, or
Mm-hmm.
just the financial gap in the different communities, because you also have social classism, to where, people of different social classes won't care about, other classes because they think that there's a vast difference between them, just based off of ignorance.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So
I think it goes a lot with just blindness, not knowing, not reaching out to people, how we were saying, you know, coming from a predominantly white area, people from Duncan, people don't know true race, or not know true race, and they don't see it. Like they don't see
yeah,
people hurting. You know what I mean? Or they see these things and maybe it's not on the news, or maybe like, but like it's real things happening to people all across the world, and you got to be able enough and willing enough to do it.
yeah,
And that's and with with bridging the gap, and that's the biggest thing, is gaining other people's perspectives, because Democrat, Republican, gay, straight, whatever. It's so many,
yeah,
it's so many, it's such a gap
yeah.
in America today, and we have to close that at least a little bit. You know what I mean? We
Oh,
have to, because if not, I mean, we'll never get better. And that's why I think that we really have what it takes, because we we're I'm trying to say, we're getting there. Like me and you, even, we're a lot closer than what we were 2 months ago. Like, you know what I mean? I
yeah,
would see you just, and when you would come down or whatever. Now we talk every day. You know what I mean? Like, and
yeah, yeah.
that's bridging the gap that way. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like, and and that's all it takes is a conversation. And that phone call changed me and your lives.
right.
You know what I mean? And it's just like that. Just if you see somebody, you just reach out and be like, hey man, what do you think about this? Or hey, can we have a conversation? And having those uncomfortable conversations with people, you have to have those to gain that
Yeah,
other perspective. So my challenge for everybody watching this is open y'all's hearts up. You know what I mean? And really pushing for change, because nothing will change unless we change ourselves.
right.
And that's my biggest thing. So yeah, that's my
And
little sermon.
and okay, Rip Kev. But not and also just to piggyback off of what you were saying, open your hearts up. You have to also open up your mind, because
Yeah.
if you don't open up your mind, then you're committed to ignorance.
Hmm.
And self-ignorance, as we could see, is very detrimental to our society.
Hmm.
We have so many people who are losing their lives
Yeah.
because of ignorance. We're losing so many people, and not only just the adults, but we're losing the youth rapidly because of not being able to do proper conflict resolutions by just having a simple conversation in a respectful manner.
Hmm.
It's also not just looking at other ethnicities, it's also looking within your own ethnicity and your own culture to have those challenging conversations and questions. Because if you don't, and you're just playing the blame game, because we all know if you're pointing to somebody three more fingers are pointing back to yourself. So do the work with these three fingers before you're able to do that, because real change start with the person that's looking back at you every single day, and that's yourself.
Right. Exactly.
It's your legacy that you're leaving. It's the seeds that you're planting in the minds and in the hearts of individuals that you have contact with throughout your day. A little kindness will go a long way. And I think that a lot of people really neglect to find peace within themselves, and that's why it's easy to inflict war on others, because internally you're at war within yourself.
Right. Exactly. Reverend
So, so I'm definitely excited even to see young people getting more involved with advocacy. Because I think that, especially for my age group growing up, we really didn't have a voice to be able to use amongst our elders. Because it was, I know more than you, I'm older than you, I've been here longer than you, I've experienced more than you. What can you teach me? But if you humble yourself enough, you can learn something from a baby.
Right.
If you're observing enough and you stop doing this and open these, then you can learn more than you're speaking. Because if you ever speaking more than you're hearing, then you already automatically behind in a delay. So
yeah, exactly.
So I think that, collectively, you and I and Fallon, I think that we want people to hear us.
Yeah.
And not only hear us, but apply the knowledge that you gain from our platform. Because, we take our platform very seriously. We handle it with a high regard of respect and love for our fellow, people that we have interactions with, and those who will just tune in, of which we never met. We hope that our message is contagious and infectious, to be able to change your family dynamics, to be able to save your community, to be able to equip your state with the ability to be cognitively aware of change, true change. True change. Because we've been fighting this battle a very long time. And I think that another thing that I would like to encourage our age group to do, who is not active, get active, because the older people have already crossed the bridge and did their job. They're here to only instruct and guide us. But we are the now leaders who are raising the next leaders of the next generation. They see us and they look at hope. But if they see us and see demise, then they're already disqualifying themselves from obtaining true self-efficacy levels to rise above the adversities that they face in life. So it's up to us to make the change, and I'm excited that we're here to do just that.
Exactly. I agree.
So could you tell people where to find us? Oh, and before we get into that, just to let you guys know, this is part 1. But in part 2, we're going to get into this shooting that took place in Buffalo, New York, with the 18-year-old Peyton, what's his last name? Gidron.
Yeah.
And so we're going to let you know where to find the next episode. Go ahead, Kevin.
I got you. So our YouTube link is Bridging the Gap 34 straight. We'll put links and everything. We'll put links in the description. We'll put links on Facebook, everything. Our Instagram is Bridging the Gap _34. Bridging the Gap _34.
Okay, and could you share our email address with them? Because we definitely want to hear from you guys.
Yes, that is a big thing. We have to, because y'all's opinions matter so much. Like, we really need the community to get behind this. Our email is just Bridging the Gap 34, straight Bridging the Gap 34 at gmail.com.
So these are our social media panhandles.
Yes.
Also, again, just piggybacking off of what he said, they'll be in the description on each and every video that we post. I just want to reiterate, we do want to hear from you guys, because without you guys, we're not able to touch on topics that you're really passionate about, because we're passionate about it all. And so with you guys stretching us, that's giving us the the push that we need to continue to have fire burning for our passion and bringing awareness to you guys. So also we would like to thank you for tuning in to our first episode, and we look forward to seeing you guys tune in to so much more that we have in store for you guys. So thank you so much.